to do a super impromptu, super casual stream for you all. If you read the description, I'm actually really close to hitting the watch time for being able to be monetized. I've passed the 1,000 subscribers around the start of this year, and the other requirement is 4,000 hours of watch time in the last year, and I'm like just a few hundred watch hours away from that. I'm also have some live performances coming up, which is very exciting, that I need to be practicing for. So I've been doing a lot of practicing, which means not a ton of time for making content to be watched. So I thought maybe I could combine them and make some content out of my practicing. So basically, all I'm going to be doing is live streaming my practicing. Now, obviously, that'd be really boring to just watch. It may be interesting. You may learn some things. Maybe I'll give some tips on sort of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it as we go. But more interesting for you is that I kind of want to do this as like an Ask Me Anything live Q&A. Feel free to just throw comments in the chat. I'm really like literally just streaming off my phone, which I've never really done before, so we'll see how that goes. But leave a comment if you enjoy this and want me to do more of it. I'd be happy to do it because I get some practicing in and get to answer all of your questions. So like the stream, leave a comment if you're enjoying it, and of course leave comments with your questions. So yeah, I just threw on a read, haven't played a note yet today. I'm gonna go through a good warm-up, work on some practicing, and I'll sort of tell you what I'm doing as I go. So as always, I'm just going to start with a reed test to see how this reed feels. Then I'm going to do some long tones and warm-ups. Yeah, this reed isn't great, I don't think. I'm going through all of my reeds right now to see which ones are possible to use for a performance and which ones I should just get rid of. The way I organize my reed case is the ones in the middle are better, the ones towards the edges are worse, and I've sort of worked my way through and I'm getting close to my edge reeds that are not as good. So I've gone through some really nice ones the past few days, and I think I'm starting to get into the not so nice ones. But let's do some long tones and see what we can make happen. I should also mention that because this is just true practicing, I may sound terrible, but that's the fact of life. All professionals sound bad sometimes in the practice room. There's also a cement truck pulling into my neighbor's yard that I can see from the window, which is exciting. Some good practice entertainment. This reed feels like it's just like not vibrating. It seems like it's decently balanced. It's like there's just, maybe it's an older reed and just the heart of it is like not happening. That's a little better. I'm gonna try to change the angle of my stand so you can maybe see my fingers. Yeah, that's a bit better angle, perhaps. Let me try turning this light on, because there's a good shadow from my music stand. But that's okay. Yeah, I just do not like this reed. I'm gonna change reeds. I'm gonna move this one. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this reed yet. I'm gonna make a note though that this one is not great, at least today. This reed's kind of similar. It definitely feels more resistant, but I'm not sure if it's actually has any more strength or vibration in it. Yeah, not loving it. You know, I'm actually gonna try the last reed. I might just take these like 3 out. These are the 3 on the edge, which means at some point already I decided I didn't really like them. So if I still really don't like them, then they might go away. I am going to also, while I'm wetting this reed, share this real quick. To Facebook and stuff, so that people there can see it, or so that maybe we can get some viewers. Hey, we have 1 viewer. Definitely, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer all the clarinet music questions about me, whatever you would like. And let's see if this last reed, which theoretically should be my worst reed, see if it's bad. This one's not as bad as the other 2. So maybe the other 2 get kicked and I'll play on this one a bit. This one definitely does still feel older and a little dead, but we'll see. This could work. Normally I don't fuss with reeds this much actually, but those first 2 were particularly terrible. Oftentimes I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but I sometimes maybe torture myself a little too much and just stick on bad reeds. But we'll see how this one is. Let's see. There we go. I'm just posting this a few places really quick to see if we can get more people to have some questions to answer, because that's always fun. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think I can see comments if you post a comment. I think I have the settings right. Never done this before, just sort of messing around to have some fun. Let me go here. Yeah, this read actually has some promise to it. Okay, let me see if I can do long tones and share this at the same time. I think I can do it. This read's interesting. It's very lively, but like not always a great sound. It's a weird one. Yeah, this read's really picky about the embouchure shape. Let me finish typing this real quick. Yeah, this read is weird. I think I also don't like it, but I'll keep playing with this one. The other two are like unplayable. This one's okay. So we'll stick with it for a little while longer. Yeah, this is one of those reads that are potentially my least favorite reads, because they can sound good and actually work pretty well when they're just right, but it's hard to play them just right, and it's always in the performance that it just decides not to go right. So yeah, we'll see how this one is. Let's see. That was interesting. Yeah, I feel like this reed is not good enough to perform on for sure, so I might just get rid of it, because I have some new reeds that I'm going to be breaking in soon, so I can afford to do that because I have more. Cool. Let me post this one more place. Let's see. Okay, this I'm going to have to do on my phone, so let's see what happens when I leave this. I'm assuming everything will break. I might have to reset. Hey, looks like it's still going. Sweet. Cool. I don't know if you could just hear what I was saying. But next time I'll share this and give some more information and maybe announce it beforehand so that we can be a little more organized with our impromptu practice. But yeah, I'm experimenting. This is fun. Cool. I think we're good to go. Now, back to the warm-ups and fighting with this reed. Wow, spit already. Yeah, I think this practice session just turned into me going through my reeds and getting rid of the bad reeds session. So I'm gonna get rid of all 3 of the reeds that I just started on. When I'm like done with a reed, I usually don't throw it away unless it's really, really bad. I'll just put it in like a spare case that I have and have it just in case. I don't think I've ever used one of these reeds after I get rid of it. But I have a whole collection of reeds that if I ever need an extreme abundance of reeds, then I have them. I don't know, what do you all do with your used up reeds? What do you, maybe kindling? I have a fireplace in my house now, so that could be a good use for them. Yeah. It's a bummer, I hate to just throw them away, but on the other hand, ain't nobody got time for bad reeds. I'm gonna move these over, keep my reed case organized. Now I'm gonna start at the other end of the case, which is also where like the less good reeds are. This is the slightly less bad side, but I might be getting rid of these too. We'll see. And again, if you have any questions at all, just type a question in the chat and I'll answer your questions. That's the other kind of fun part about these things. So if there's anything crazy that I do that you have a question about, or anything just generally that you've been struggling with, feel free to let me know. I think this is kind of a fun way to have some people to hang out with while I practice. Oh yeah, this one I think is usable. So now I did my long tones. I'm going to do some technique stuff, but I'm going to do some scales and sort of do them slowly so that I can still get a good sound on this reed. I'm going to just do the close A scales. Those are sort of my go-to technique exercise of late. Okay, I think I have the sound going on this reed well enough, so now I'm going to pick it up a little bit, work on the fingers a little bit more. And if you could, it looks like there's a couple people watching. I just want to make sure that I'm seeing the chat and that the chat's going to pop up. So if you could do me a favor and just like say hi, or even better, ask a question if you have a question in the chat, just so I can make sure that that's popping up for me. That would be very helpful. No pressure though, but let's see, where was I? E flat major? Yeah, E flat major. And that's that. You may have noticed that I'm sort of trying to work on my circular breathing while doing this. So I'm not great at circular breathing yet, so sometimes it kind of sounds bad. So that's why I sounded bad. I'll blame it all on that if there was anything that sounded bad. But yeah, it's going well, my fingers are warmed up now. I'm also going to do a little bit of articulation. I'm working on the Barrio sequenza, which has some like as fast as you can articulation in it. Luckily it's just on one note, so it's easy. But I want to work on getting that a little cleaned up, so I'm going to do that in my articulation exercise. I did a live weekly warm-up on this, I think just last week, or maybe a couple weeks ago. But I call this burst articulation, where I'm just going to hold a note and then tongue as fast as I can to practice that and see if I can get it really clear. Yeah, that wasn't bad. I'm actually going to change reeds again. So this reed is actually pretty good. This like area of my case is usually the reeds that are a little bit on the soft side but still work pretty well. And I'm going to be performing in Denver, which is a little bit higher elevation than where I'm at now in Pueblo. So I'm going to save that one actually, because I think that reed's a little soft here, but that might be a performance quality reed in Denver, and I don't have a ton of those reeds, so I'm gonna save it just so I don't make it too soft, because much softer and it's not gonna be good at all. I also am swabbing out because I'm more or less done warming up now. I am gonna move on to some music. Okay. Yeah, this reed's already significantly harder than the last reed. So yeah, I'm glad I switched off that last one. So I'm still doing like some sort of warm-up-esque exercises, just to sort of get my air going and get things sounding good. And yeah, make sure I know how this reed feels. And now I'm going to pull up my music and do some of the music. Let me see. Okay, so I'm working on the Barrio sequenza. I'm roughly comfortable with all of the piece now. Now it's just a matter of like going in and cleaning it up. So I'm going to work on the sections that I've marked out that need cleaning up. Yeah, and this might sound really bad over the phone because it's can be loud and high and crazy and all over the place, but hopefully the sound quality is like okay. And if you want to mute me and just ask questions, that is certainly okay as well. But then unmute when I answer your question. Yeah, I need to do some like warm-up stuff to get this reed going, because the other reed was so soft, and actually all the reeds I've played on so far have been really soft. This one actually really holds up, so I need to sort of readjust and recalibrate my brain on how to play on this reed. Yeah, this reed's actually much more balanced than it seemed like it was, so that's interesting. I think I just need to figure out how to play it well. That was good. What I'm trying to do as I work through these bits is like really make sure that I can grab all of the notes and like keep track of them all, because I notice when I play through this, like it goes so much better when I'm just keeping track of the notes. Yeah, I think this line's going pretty well. I'm going to do it one more time and like really get the dynamics. Not bad. This section is actually one of my favorite sections. It probably sounds terrible over a live stream, but I still get a little bit too frantic and go a little too fast, so I'm actually going to do it with the metronome so that I can be really precise. I have my metronome on my Soundbrenner course so that it's not too obnoxious, and it's easier for me to feel through all the loud music. And that's that section before the tempo changes again. So I'm going to keep going with the metronome. I notice some areas where I tend to rush a lot, so it's good to be aware of those. Really feel the metronome, get in time with the metronome. Yeah, this is funny. I think it's getting worse the more I practice it, which happens sometimes. And that's a really good sign that you don't actually know it totally well and performance ready, confident if you get worse the more you practice. It should, once it's comfortable and once you're familiar with it, then you should be able to play it somewhat consistently. Just out of curiosity too, for the people who are watching, put a comment with what are you working on right now in your playing? It could be a fundamental issue, squeaking, crossing the break, or maybe an actual piece of music that you're working on. Is anybody else preparing for live performances? Because I'm theoretically playing live at the end of October, so I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't had a real in a concert hall concert in a really long time. Yeah, February of 2020. Wow, that's crazy. So since it's getting worse, I'm going to do smaller chunks so that I can really get it. Yeah, that part's pretty comfortable now. Now I'm going to start there again, see if I can add on more. Yeah, this part always trips me up, so I'm going to isolate just an even little bit. Now I'm going to put that all together. see I made a mistake, so I stopped and went back so that I could program in my brain, not that way, not the mistake, do it the right way. I think this rhythm's not quite right. Ta 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 ya ta 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 ya ta 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 ya. So the last time I did it, I had my clarinet like resting on my knees, but I'm gonna eventually play this standing up. So I need to work on only supporting the instrument with my hands. And that led to squeaks because my fingers weren't able to be as steady on the instrument. Yeah, this section's pretty good. And this is kind of a natural break here in the music, so I'm going to keep going on. And there's a little dynamic change there, so I'm going to use that as sort of the end of this phrase. There aren't really straightforward phrases in most of this piece, so you sort of have to get creative with the chunks that you break up. And I'm going to isolate even a smaller section there that felt the most uncomfortable. That time I got carried away and kept going, but it went pretty well. Now I'll do that whole little section again. Close. It's starting to feel, even though I'm going at the same speed, it's starting to feel slower and like I'm comprehending more of it, so that's a really good sign that the practicing's working. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like there's a few people watching, so hello to everybody who's just joined. The part of this is just me practicing. I'm just live streaming while I'm practicing, but the most exciting part is for you to ask questions. So if you have questions, leave them in the chat or the comments or whatever YouTube calls it, and I'll answer your questions. So any questions you have about clarinet or music or anything you want to know about me, ask away. Oops. So this is an eighth note triplet going to a quarter note triplet, and I'm just making sure that my rhythm's actually right. So I'm subdividing the quarter note triplet into eighth note triplets so I can make sure that they're all even. Yeah, and this last bit has a lot of dynamics, like piano to forte and like one quarter note beat, and I'm not quite keeping track of that well enough, so I'm going to slow down so that I can really get it. I'm actually going to do just the dynamic parts on their own so that I can practice the transitions. Yeah, I think in these smaller chunks I can do it at tempo, and I want to get used to the pacing at the actual tempo. I think that's better. Now I'm going to try this whole section together now. Close. I think if I just do it again, I could get it. I was falling a little bit behind the metronome, so I'm going to try to keep on top of it. Yeah, that felt like it had some groove and some musicality to it also. Now I'm going to change the metronome to the still kind of parts of this section that are at a different tempo so that I can get those parts and then maybe put it all together. That's part of the next section, so I'm not actually going to do that. That part's comfortable. that part's, I've practiced a lot, so I'm pretty comfortable with that too. Now I'm going to do this whole big section together and see how it goes. Not bad, not bad. I'm going to do it one more time and add on a little bit more before. Maybe I'll keep going a bit further on as well. Let's see, where did I... Yeah, this is a pretty big section that I'm not totally comfortable with. Cool. Hey, there's a comment with a question. And I saw it, so that's great. Yeah, interesting that I'm practicing sitting down. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like maybe 70-60% of the time sitting down and the other standing. Definitely as I get closer to the performance, because I'm going to perform this standing, then I'll practice standing. But oftentimes I practice for at least an hour and a half, if not close to 2 hours, and standing for 2 hours just like, I don't know, maybe I'm lazy. I will practice standing up more though, as I get going. I think for you personally, I think it matters more sort of how you're intending to be doing a lot of your playing. So for me, I did most of my training as like going into an orchestra, and in an orchestra the clarinets are always sitting down. So yeah, I think that's what makes the most sense depending on what you're doing. So if you're a soloist, then yeah, you should probably practice standing more. Cool. Now the whole big section. And I just had a good opportunity to swap, so thanks for the question. Good thing I swapped, because there's water in this key. I saw, Susan, you also asked, or said, I have no idea how you get into music like that. I'm assuming you mean the barrio, like the crazy contemporary music. And I also assume by getting into it, you mean like enjoy listening to it. I agree that this music is a lot more fun to play than to listen to, so that's one way to get into it. This music's very complex. This particular piece sort of works on this idea of like harmonic, I'm going to use the word soundscapes, but that's not quite the right word that Barrio used. But it's this idea that like you sort of establish this harmony, and it has, it's much more complicated for listening to because of that. Classical music like Mozart, Tchaikovsky, all of those pieces that we think of with classical music, they're built on this structure of like harmonies and rhythms that all sort of are intuitive, and we've like programmed into ourselves from listening to them so much and having so much music written like that. So it's really easy for us to sort of recognize an 8-measure phrase and like hear a beautiful melody. These like more contemporary pieces are interesting because they're kind of create their own rules, and that's how these sort of harmonic soundscapes or fields of harmonies work. For example, this section that I'm playing has these fast notes. All kinds of different patterns of it too. And the idea with these is that they're sort of setting up the harmony, so that sort of like gets the harmony in your ear of like which notes are kind of important. So then when you hear notes that aren't those, for example, that last one I did, like those 3 notes sound kind of different and interesting. I agree this is really hard to like comprehend listening to it, and I think it takes like I imagine with this kind of music, people who have perfect pitch get a lot out of listening to it because so much of it is like what pitches are happening when, but for me and most people who don't have perfect pitch, it's harder to like grasp those and get those changes. I think the most simple thing for this particular piece to sort of like grab onto and have interest in with listening to it is just the dynamics, because there's extreme dynamic range. But yeah, that's so true of contemporary pieces. And yeah, it looks like you said Arnold Cook Sonata. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that piece, but with all of these contemporary pieces, I sort of equate them to opera for me, where I'm not a huge fan of opera, but the more I get into it and the more I know the story and know how the music works, that's when it gets more interesting. So with Mozart, that's so easy because we know the background of like how Mozart goes, but with something like this, we sort of have to learn the rules of the piece so that we can have more interest in them. Yeah, not bad. That didn't go like quite as well, but there's still more opportunities for improvement, but I'll get those another day. I think I did enough on that section today. Now I'm going to get into the next section, which is all of these really fast notes. So I'm going to break down these fast notes, really get them in my fingers, so that when I'm doing blah, 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 I can really be feeling like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and like actually keeping track of all of those notes, because this won't sound good if I'm just sort of wiggling the fingers. You have to really have precision to get these. Oh, I plugged my phone in to charge, but didn't turn the power strip on that I plugged it into. So my battery's low, but it should be plugged in now. I'm gonna double check this with the metronome too, because there are some there's some runs of like as fast as you can markings, and then there's some actual 30-second notes, so I want to make sure that that's right. Yeah, I think these 30-second notes are more of like actually really in the pocket, really spelling out the notes, where you have the fast notes that are sort of a blur but still clean, and then actually clear enough that you can really hear the notes. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit too much like skipping notes, fast note freak out, running through notes, so I need to get the notes better. I'm gonna go slower to do that. It's especially the F sharp to A. I'm in too much of a rush to cross the break, so I'm not spending enough time on the A actually. Yeah, that tempo feels really comfortable. I'm going to try going just a touch faster. Unfortunately, I'm not doing this with the metronome because it's hard, because there's not really like a clear meter, but maybe I should figure out how to do that. I should also make sure that I'm resting long enough. There's a quarter rest that's a little inconspicuous. I need to make sure I get that. And I'm going to go a little faster. And with the dynamics. Actually, let me check the real tempo. Yeah, so that space and these rhythms are a lot slower than I want them to be. So I need to make that correct, even when I'm practicing under tempo. Just checking the metronome. I'm going to do this with the metronome. I know how I'm going to do it. So I have my metronome on 60, with the eighth notes, the tempo here is quarter note equals 60, so I have 60 pulsing eighth notes so I can feel all the eighth notes. So what I'm going to do on the fastest notes, I'm just going to make them 16th note triplets, so triplets on the eighth note beat, and then I can keep everything steady. So the fastest bits will be slow enough that I can really get them, but the in-tempo, in-rhythm bits will be the right rhythm. I like this, yeah. This makes it really easy to grab those notes really, really well. Thank you, whoever SM is. I'm glad you think I'm good. I practice, that's why I'm good. Now I'm going to do it a little bit faster, and I don't think I can do it with the metronome, but I'm going to try to keep the other bits. Dee-ba-da, booba-dooba-da, dee-ba-da, booba-dooba-da, dee-ba-doo, ba-ba-dooba-dee. All the other bits, in rhythm. That's too fast. Yeah, my fingers are starting to get a little bored or tied up in this pattern. It's similar to like if you've ever said a word over and over and over and over again, and it starts to like not sound like a word. I find that sometimes when I'm playing like certain scales or certain fingering patterns that I've just done it so many times that my brain is just mushing it all together. So I'm gonna not do that. And what I'm gonna do actually is take a little bit of a break to sort of reset. So it'd be a great time if you have any questions, but sort of give my brain a little rest. Do a little stretch, let my fingers, relax a little bit. The other thing that I'm going to do that's a really useful trick is instead of playing it, I'm just going to finger through it. This sort of forces you to think about it in a little bit different way. And as I'm fingering through it, I'm still like trying to like comprehend and keep track of how it's going, more or less. So like hearing it in my head, because a big part of all of this stuff is training your ear as well. So that's sort of like what I'm trying to do, is to train the ear to play it the way that it goes, hear it the way that it goes, while the fingers are running through it. I'm just going to make a note here for something that I wanted to add to something else. Because I just had an idea. To add that. Okay. Back to the music. That was a good break. My brain is refreshed, hopefully. Yeah, the power of taking a break. That was a lot better. I went really well. I felt really in control and really confident. I think doing the fingers on their own helped as well. This section I've practiced a bit more already, but I'm going to sort of refresh it because it's still a section that I'm not the most comfortable with. This is probably like the fastest and hardest bit of the whole piece. So I'm going to break it down, really do it with the metronome. There's a couple different tempos here too, so I'm going to get one tempo section at a time. Yeah, 30-second notes at 60 are slower than I want them to be. I need to remember that. Now this next section's in a new tempo, a little faster. So I feel like I have like a rough feel for this, like I'm keeping up with it well, and I think it's coming across probably pretty well listening to it, but I don't feel super confident with it, so I'm gonna do smaller chunks. I wanna stay at this tempo so that I can really learn like what the tempo is, but by doing it in smaller chunks, then I'll be able to get more comfortable with it. Yeah, it's still a little swingy through there, not quite even 30-second notes. Da-ba-doo-ba-da, da-ba-doo-ba-da, da-ba-doo-ba-da. I'm going to take another brain break, finger break, swab break. Yeah, I've been going about 80 minutes now, which is, yeah, coming up on an hour and a half. I find usually I'm my most focused and concentrated for about an hour and a half. So I might be hitting my sort of limit for the practicing. So I need to take a little break, refresh my brain, and get the water out of his key, because that makes it hard to play evenly when the note doesn't come out. Does anybody have any questions? Anything interesting that y'all are working on? Cool. So it's this first set of 30-second notes that are really tripping me up, so I'm going to really try to get those. Oh, maybe the break helped already. That felt pretty good. Yeah, I can always tell it's like going well when I really like feel like I'm getting all of the notes. Like there's that rhythmic impulse to it. And I think from a listener's perspective that probably sounds a lot better too, because you can have some security in like where we are with the notes and actually hear all of the notes. Yeah, that time I got off from the rhythmic beat. I'm going to do some small chunks in the second section. I think if I could get to there, I'm usually fine, because it gets a bit more chromatic, a bit easier to follow at that point. Now I just need to get it to do that way every time. I call this like the 3 C's of, I don't know what they're of, but the 3 C's. It has to be correct, it has to be consistent, and then it has to be comfortable. So I think I'm close to correct. Yeah, I think I have it correct. I think the way that I just played it, I think that was correct. I liked it. But it's not consistent yet because it doesn't go that way every time. And the more comfortable it gets, the easier it'll be to be consistent. If I can do it consistently and comfortably, then I have a good shot of doing it correctly on the one chance that I have in the performance. So I just need to do it more to build up that consistency. Yeah, what I'm going to do now actually is I am going to turn down the tempo a little bit. I think it's important to gradually pick up the tempo and speed it up. I think I have a good sense of how fast this needs to go now. I sort of have it in my brain like what the goal tempo is. Now I'm going to slow it down a little bit so I can make it comfortable and steady. Got off a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I am so close, but not quite. I really just need to go slower. So that's really comfortable. Yeah, I can feel my fingers aren't like quite rhythmic. I don't have that real like even rhythm in my fingers. I'm a little mushy, a little fast, a little rushy here and there. Yeah, I'm playing this too much, like I'm just like falling down the keys instead of da 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 da. Really precise. That's what it needs. Yeah, even fast. I have no idea what tempo I'm going. Let me listen to the metronome. Yeah, I think I might be done. What I'm gonna do now, I think my brain is mush, my fingers are mush, I'm mush. So what I'm gonna do now is actually one more repetition though, really, really slow. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna go at tempo, but instead of 72 being the quarter note, I'm gonna make 72 the eighth note, so I'm effectively going half speed, and I'm just gonna like get one good repetition with it like really comfortable, really relaxed and steady, so that I can sort of use that as a jumping off point for next time. Oh yeah, that's not even precise. Oh, there's no Jiminy under there. Okay, I think that's good. I think I'm gonna call it a day. That was a good amount of practicing. My brain feels well practiced for the day. I think, yeah, I think that's all I got. If you enjoyed this, be sure to press the like on it so that I know that you enjoyed it. I think I'll maybe try another one of these where I announced it. It was pretty fun to sort of have some people hanging out while we practice and have a little conversation. So I think I might do more of it, and definitely comment and let me know if you'd like more of this. I'm hoping to maybe get some more people watching and more Q&A going next time, so maybe if people know that it's happening, then it'll work. But this was a good sort of tech test. I think this works out pretty well. I'll have to listen back and see how bad the audio is, especially the loud high notes. It might be a little unpleasant to listen to, but thanks for hanging out with me. I hope that you enjoyed, and I'll probably do at least one more of these and see how people like it. And if people really like it, then I'll do a lot more of them, because I enjoyed it. It was fun, and hopefully we can get more Q&A going in the future too. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I'm still going to have all my regular Saturday uploads, Monday live weekly warm-up. This is just a little fun experiment to boost the watch time a little bit here and have some fun hanging out with you all. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another one.